Greetings, it's LaserMax here, and for you Blade Symphony players out there, the Harmonious Prelude update has been out for a couple of days now, and they made a lot of changes. Complete tracer rework, not every single attack, but a lot of them. Judgment Speed 1 is a big one. I'm gonna be focusing on Katana Judgment in particular, because it's pretty much my main. I've been playing it for like 2 years, 3 years. And well, he's pretty much the same but stronger, essentially. Yeah, the Harmonious Prelude update, it was supposed to be this sort of a free-to-play transition update, but they haven't made it free-to-play yet. They just pushed it out for all of the Blade Symphony players to try, so that they can finish it, fix a couple of bugs, get things ready. And then once it's all done, they'll give us our community capes back, or we riot, and yeah, they'll make the game free to play, and there will be a little bit of a population increase, so we got more players, and yeah. So about Katana Judge, well, it's pretty much the same. You still charge for the most part, you still stay away, but you now got a more viable tier 1 game just because of the balanced 1 tier 1 having its tracer buffed. It starts earlier. This is like the 2014 version. There we go. In 2014 it used to be just like this. It starts behind you really quick. For the longest time, from 2015 up till now, it used to be kind of slower than it usually was. And it made it Judgment's tier 1 game so much weaker. It was so easy to attack him, especially with the Katana. Katana Judge used to just get steamrolled by characters with good pressure and chase down tools, interrupting tools and so on. So you were forced to back off from the start and never let them get close to you to begin with, which was fine. I mean, not that he wasn't strong, but he had all of his character strength placed in this charge defense, and none of it in a T1 game where you would shuffle around and do attacks. This isn't generally good with Judge. You would do it from time to time, but now you'll do it slightly more because of this. Having it start earlier and having the attack overall last for a longer window, it's just so useful for tier 1 pressure, for charging in their face, just to, you know, let it go in tier 1 if I can do it. There, just charge for a split second, bait them to attack, let it go in tier 1 and parry them. That's much more viable now. Before it used to be suicide, you would just get yourself hit out of the startup or whiff punish, but now you have a decent shot of hitting it, because it's much easier for the opponent to parry it. And so yeah, Judgment stays mostly the same, apart from the fact that Katana Judgment, because of the Katana feint nerf, being less gimmicky and more competitive only. What they did to Katana was increase the feint cooldown from 1 second to 2 seconds, so it's much less spammable. Stuff like Katana Ryoko with the air right feints and the F2 feints. The feints are still there, F4 feint, but you can't spam it, so what's the point? I would say Blink is gone. This... no, it's not gone. It would seem it's just... is it as big as it was before? Might be. But I know that Judgment's version of the Blink is gone anyway, which is this. Yeah, it doesn't make you go to the right side anymore as much. You used to fly all across the screen off of this, like a shuffle jump like that, where you just fly across the screen. I mean, look at this. It used to be exactly like this. You just jump that entire distance with that feint. You can do it anyway with the shuffle jump, which is probably preferable. But the point is, gimmicks are gone. You can't really do B1 feint, B2, B1, and then another B2 feint really fast, because Feint won't even be available. And so the feint gimmicks are gone. Apart from the one feint gimmick that was competitively viable, which was charge B1 and feint. Because you're charging to T2 or half charge, you're almost always gonna wait 2 seconds anyway. And so, balance wise, the good feints stay and all the fun feints are gone. So that kinda sucks. Not sure what they were thinking. Oh, wait, I do know what they're thinking. Well, I don't, but I have a pretty good guess, and I would guess that the reason they nerfed feint was probably for the purpose of air right, which you could shuffle jump into air right feint and do it multiple times in succession to infinitely run with shuffle jump. I guess that would be the purpose. So now you can pro team less consistently with Katana Edge, which is pretty fair, but well, if they did remove this and make it like 3 seconds, I would have a complaint, because then you would not have a single reason to play Katana Edge at all for any reason, regardless of whether it be competitively or fun. So I'm happy it's just a 1 second increase, I guess. I'll probably still be playing it. And yeah, there's not much of a change otherwise to judge. This is like the big one. Heavy right, tier 1 looks different. It has a bigger tracer. It starts a little earlier, so it's less slow, but it's still super slow. But I guess if you like gimmicking with this, like maybe Wolflore, you'll be a happy man. His balance left charge is still there, it's still the same. His spin gimmicks with this, like that, yeah, that's still there. So he's gonna be doing just fine if he plays. But other than that, there's not much to judge individually. But if you look at it from a matchup perspective, it's different, because Ryoko on the other hand got a nerf to his F1. It's slower, but some say it has more range. So what I would do is I would stack the slowed version of F1's startup speed with the Judgment's B1 increase, and you'll start to see why the matchup kind of had the tables turn. I got my best parry tool sped up. He got his best interrupting tool, fast tool, sped down. So what that means is it's gonna have a steamroll effect where I parry his F1 super consistently. It will still go through if he does it really well, but it can't just walk up to me or shuffle up to me and do an F1. I'll pretty much B1 him out of his F1 every time if I react to the shuffle. That's what the speed difference does, essentially, the speed difference. So that matchup just got way easier to play. The moment I started playing Narni, which used to steamroll me, I just noticed, yeah, this matchup is pretty doable now. Not that it was unwinnable before, but you had to be so much on your toes. You had to be ready to back off, shuffle back, always charge picture perfectly, never misstep forward too much, or with a B1 in the air like that. Because you would get interrupted and lose health advantage immediately if you did a mistake. But now it's much more chillax. I can much more aggressively just B1. And being able to do that, being able to gain an edge and be able to aggress him, as opposed to just defending at all times, that evens the matchup out so much, to the point where it's not so much about who's favored to win as it is how stressful it is to play. I'd be more confident to play against a Ryoko player, for instance, in a tournament. I don't have to have the nerves on me, because if I do a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. And so from that perspective, it's a chill matchup, like the other characters. It's like, there's nothing special about fighting a Ryoko as opposed to fighting Phalanx. So I can just relax now. I'll still have to play better than him, but that's all it takes. It's not. I don't have to go the extra mile. And well, yeah, that's most of it. Phalanx would probably still be mostly the same. He got a lot of Tracer updates, but as far as I'm concerned, they don't really change much. So to me, they're not there. Pure got everything changed because the tracers that Pure has are more important to her in a sense. Like this is different. I think this is nerfed though because it's smaller. But you see, this covers all of it. This cartwheel kick, this is the old B2 tier 2. Now it's tier 1. More active window, multi-hits, more consistently goes into B3, so that's a buff. This is way bigger. It seems it has an extended end, which allows you to chain it more conveniently. Or at least that's what Seder says. Seems about right. This is changed. It seems to start a split second earlier. This is changed. This seems to start earlier too. I've been noticing I'm getting interrupted by so many heavy lefts. And it is partially my fault for just playing too aggressively and playing into it, but yeah, I'm used to be able to interrupt it to a certain degree. And now I can't to the degree that I'm used to. But yeah, F3 is also, like, now it's great. Is it preferable over B3? Maybe not. But if you're close, if you want to do something more convenient on block, if you're not a Gion user, yeah, this is like super great. It's a little bit, probably faster, but don't quote me, nah. But you know, you get the general idea. This is even bigger than it was, the air left. It's not about judgment, but it's worth mentioning since the Prelude update came out. I think it evened out the character balance though. Judgment is stronger, Ryoko is weaker, as far as I'm concerned. Some people are saying Ryoko's as strong or stronger, but I don't buy that. Because I don't really think he's about the range alone. I think it's about combination of speed and range, which would be versatility. Whereas he might have more range on F1, the fact that it's not a versatile move, like a jack of all trades, and it's just like a move that has a good attribute and a bad attribute. Yeah, it doesn't stick out anymore. It's like Dragunov without the running 2 from Tekken 7. It's like you remove the big star super duper move and you're just left with Dragunov's good strings. Like, Ryoko has plenty of good attacks in his arsenal, but it's not the same without them. The move of moves, basically. And yeah, that would be about it. There's not much else to say. Prelude update is still going on. Most of the balance things seem to be out, but item service doesn't seem to be up. I've heard they're going to add a ranking system, which isn't up. They're going to make it free to play, which it isn't yet. And so we'll be waiting for that. But the fact that we can like level up right now already, gain a couple of items, and as well toy around with the balance before the free to play even has launched is great. And so yeah, have fun playing Harmonious Prelude. See you later.